Now, late last year, Israeli President Reuven Rivlin hosted the announcement ceremony for Bereshit 2, Israel's second spacecraft to the moon. Space IL and the Israeli Space Agency will be launching the spacecraft in 2024. This time, the spacecraft will consist of 3 individual spacecrafts, an orbiter and 2 landers. To tell us more about it, I am joined by Mr. Shimon Sarid, CEO of Space IL, and again by Mr. Avi Blasberger, Director of the Israel Space Agency. Now, Mr. Sarid, I want to be able to begin with you. Can you tell us a little bit more about Space IL and a bit about Bereshit 1? Let's begin with that.
Space IL is a non-profit organization that aims to inspire the next generation of students and children and school children to select in their life to be scientists and engineers. And we do this by executing a very challenging space project, preferably in deep space. Space IL started or established on 2011 by 3 talented engineers. It all started with the Google Lunar X Prize competition, and they decided to compete among other 30 teams around the world. They were the first or the only team that did it eventually. It took them like 8 years and $100 million and all the people of Israel behind them to launch Bereshit in February 2019. And then 6 weeks later, the Bereshit was captured by the moon and started the landing process. And very little time between the final landing was some malfunction, and they did the landing in high speed rather than soft landing. But this does not degrade any of the achievements of Bereshit 1.
Absolutely, it certainly doesn't. Now, tell me a little bit about those achievements of Bereshit 1.
Okay, first, Bereshit 1 was the first, let's say, deep space program of Israel, the first and only so far. In addition to that, by doing that, we were the 4th country in the world that actually touched the moon surface by a lander, even though it was a high speed, but still we have the Israeli flag on the moon. We were the 7th country in the world that succeeded in capturing the moon. We were the first in the world non-government type of program that reached to the moon, and we did a lot of educational impact and inspiration in Israel and very high national pride. This is the achievements of Bereshit 1.
So now let's talk about Bereshit 2. What is unique in this Bereshit 2 mission, and what is its added value relative to Bereshit 1?
In order to understand it better, I suggest that we'll look at a video first, and then I'll explain what are the added values.
Let's take a look.
Here we can see a model of Bereshit 2. We can see here the whole setup. It includes like 3 spaceships. This is the what we call orbiter or the mothership, and it carries on the side 2 landers. This is one lander here, and the other lander should be on the other side. of this orbiter. And this will fly all together, this system will fly all together to the moon. And once captured by the moon, we'll see a separation or deployment of the two landers to land on the moon. We can see here one lander, here the second lander. All the retracted legs are open, and then it's land on the moon. Here we have actually two missions on the moon, separate time, separate location, separate scientific mission. And after completion of this mission, the orbiter will stay around the moon, orbiting the moon for 2 to 5 years and serve as educational and scientific mean to attach many students and people in Earth to communicate with the orbiter and get the knowledge and education and scientific experiments together with this orbiter. Another factor or change, a major change in Bereshit 2 is that by the way we manage the program, we are calling for other countries to join. This will be like a multinational type of program. And by doing that, we'll permit or allow other countries and other children from schools all over the world to communicate with this orbiter from dedicated space education centers in which the orbiter will be communicated with this space center. So we actually increasing, expanding the educational impact and scientific impact of Bereshit 2 by the orbiter for many years to go.
This is absolutely incredible stuff. Bring on 2024, I say. Now, Shimon, just hold that thought. Avi, I want to bring you into the conversation. So, Avi, what led the Israeli Space Agency to support Bereshit 2?
So as you heard from Shimon, the program is a novel program and a very ambitious, not only from engineering point of view, but also from scientific point of view and educational point of view. And these are the three pillars that the Israeli Space Agency is dealing on its daily basis. Therefore, this mission is very complementing to the activity of the Israeli Space Agency, and we decided to support this program.
And Avi, I understand that other than budgets, the Space Agency is also helping with international cooperation. Can you elaborate on that for me?
Yes, first, the Bereshit 2 team of Space IL, as well as of the agency, want to expand the footprint of the program all around the world, educationally and engineering-wise. Therefore, the international relations team of the Space Agency is working on that on the last 6 months to put a strategy for that and to approach potential agency that will cooperate with the Israeli Space Agency and Space IL.
And Avi, last month during the announcement at the President's House, the Minister of Science and Technology, Minister Shai, mentioned that there are some countries that are already in contact with the agency. Can you tell me a little bit about that too?
It's true. We have a few countries that we are in advanced contact with them. However, unfortunately, we cannot release the name before we finalize the agreement with them.
Oh, I was hoping to get some secrets out of you just now, but I guess we'll have to wait now.
Not today.
Not today. I tried my best. Now, Shimon, can you tell us some details about the mission schedule and its funding status?
Of course. We are aiming to launch in mid-2024. Mark your calendar.
I've got it marked already.
It's a little bit ambitious, but we are able to do it, I think. And about the cost, how do we finance this program? The cost would be around $100 million, very similar to Bereshit 1. This is a goal for us. And this time, we are going to split this cost by having like 50% of the cost coming from the participating, partnering international countries, and the other 50% will be donated by good donors, and we'll have some also financial support from the Israeli Space Agency.
Beautiful. Now, gentlemen, before I let you both go, I have one final question for you both. What are your expectations from this mission? Shimon, let's start with you.
Very simple. 100% success. Worldwide educational impact. Scientific value. Inspiration. National pride. And making Israel a leader in deep space.
And Avi?
I don't have much to add about that, but we are looking to have a kind of what was in the US Apollo effect. We will call it Bereshit effect on the Israeli educational community. And of course, to advance the engineering in Israel and have the national pride, it is, of course, always important.
Absolutely, incredibly well said. Well, gentlemen, I wish you both the best of luck. Avi Blasberger and Shimon Sarid, thank you both so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure having you both.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah.
you.
And that concludes the final day of the 16th annual Ilan Ramon International Space Conference. I hope you all had an amazing time full of opportunity, knowledge, and insight. On behalf of the Israel Space Agency at the Ministry of Science and Technology, I thank you all for joining us, and I hope to see you back next year, hopefully in Tel Aviv.